The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. Jesus said to the chief priests and the elders of the people, "Hear another parable. There was a landowner who planted a vineyard, put a hedge around it, dug a wine press in it, and built a tower. Then he leased it to tenants and went on a journey. When vintage time drew near, he sent his servants to the tenants to obtain his produce. But the tenants seized the servants, and one they beat, another they killed, and a third they stoned. Again, he sent other servants more numerous than the first ones, but they treated them in the same way. Finally, he sent his son to them, thinking, 'They will respect my son.' But when the tenants saw the son, they said to one another, 'This is the heir. Come, let us kill him and acquire his inheritance.' They seized him, threw him out of the vineyard, and killed him. What will the owner of the vineyard do to those tenants when he comes?" They answered him, "He will put those wretched men to a wretched death and lease his vineyard to other tenants, who will give him the produce at the proper times." Jesus said to them, "Did you never read in the Scriptures, 'The stone that the builders rejected has become the cornerstone'? By the Lord has this been done, and it is wonderful in our eyes. Therefore I say to you, the kingdom of God will be taken away from you and given to a people that will produce its fruit." When the chief priests and the Pharisees heard this parable, they knew that he was speaking about them. And although they were attempting to arrest him, they feared the crowds, for they regarded him as a prophet. The Gospel of the Lord. So on Wednesday, I said that a hammer is designed to drive a nail. And if you try to do other things with a hammer, like ice a cake, you're just going to make a mess. Human beings, likewise, are designed to love. If you do something else, you're just going to make a mess. But there are things that get in the way of our ability to, carry out what we're meant to do, which is love. One of the things that gets in the way is envy, and we see it in Joseph's brothers. And they look at his coat, they look at the fact that his father loves him, and they're jealous. I have no idea why. We're not told if he was mean to the other brothers, the father was, but I doubt it. We don't know where the jealousy comes from, and it's not really worth figuring out. If you drive a hammer and you kind of miss it a little bit and it bends a little bit, despite all of your best intentions, it just happens sometimes. You're going to hit it the wrong way and it bends a little bit. Well, you make the best of it and try to straighten it back out. Don't spend a lot of time worrying about, well, why did that happen? Don't spend a lot of time about, why am I envious? The fact is, we are. It's a mystery. It's the mystery of evil. Where did it come from? Don't know. But we get envious. We get jealous. We look at what others have, and in the worst times, we want to destroy them for it. I think the antidote for envy is humility. And I don't mean humility in the sense that, woe is me, everyone's better than I am, and I'm just going to make myself a worm and everybody can walk all over me. That's not Christian humility. Christian humility is realizing that God has given each of us different gifts. And to humble ourselves means to use those God-given gifts to the best of our ability. So humbling ourselves means acknowledging that God has given me gifts too. And what are those gifts? And let me use them. Use them in the way that God meant them to be used. And that's, I think, the definition of Christian humility and the antidote to envy.